Becoming an author, even today for millions, is a distant dream, be it due to financial constraints, be it due to the fact that they aren't blessed with support from their loved ones, or that they just aren't confident enough in their abilities to become an author. But today I have somebody who has been able to fulfill her dream. And I was just very excited to have this conversation with her to know how was it possible for her. I mean, in India, it is actually quite easy to be able to get your book published, but the fact that, not everyone is able to do that. And for her to break barriers and be able to, fulfill her dream is something that's going to be the topic of our conversation today. So, welcome, Ishika. Um, I just want to know my first off the bat question to you. Why did you agree to do this podcast with me?
All right. So I'm not going to lie. One of the main factors that made me reach out to you was the fact that, yeah, I want exposure because being an author, it's not as easy to gain readers as it, possibly seems on internet or Bookstagram or whatever. Yeah, people make it seem that they have millions of readers, they have thousands of readers. As an author, I know how hard it is to actually reach out to people to convince them to read your book. So I feel that this podcast is going to, give me that platform in some way. I don't expect to gain millions of readers just after one video. But yeah, if, this video convinces even one or two people to actually buy my book to give it a chance, that's going to be enough for me.
Mission accomplished, Ishika. At least you're getting one reader from my side. I'm going to be one reader, so
All
that
right.
mission is
Thank you.
accomplished. Okay. So, first of all, I want you to let our viewers know what is the name of your book and the basic concept behind the book. What is the story, basic
All
story?
right. All right. So the title of my book is 17 Days and Die. I have my copy right here. It's this
It's beautiful.
17 Days and Die. It's a young adult romance book. I started writing this book because, the main theme of this book is suicide prevention, and how people, usually they don't see the silver linings of life. If something bad happens to them, they're like, yeah, I'm going to give up on this life, it's not worth it. So I started this book with that idea in mind because I don't know, I definitely feel I'm blessed that I've never been that sort of person. I've never, reached that breaking point in my life that I've just, thought about ending it all. And I'm very thankful for that, touch wood. But I've had some friends who used to hurt themselves, who used to share some things with me. And yeah, I just started this book. It started as a fever dream. I did not expect it to get published one day, or that people are going to love it. I did not expect it at all. It was just a medium for me to, just make people see life the way I try to see it. The positive aspects of life. Even if it rains, it's going to be all right. So the theme, the positive life, it all started like that because I wanted my friends who've been through some dark phases, I wanted them to have a sliver of hope, I guess. And yeah, basically, this book is about a girl. She's on the verges of, I don't know, she's 20 years old and she's seen a lot of things in her life. She's been through a lot. She lost a parent and she's in an abusive household. It's a lot for her. And yeah, she feels that, life is not worth it. What is she living for? So she does try to end it and enter a handsome stranger who actually has ties to her past. And yeah, he gives her a timeline and he makes her try to see, life in a better way, in a better light. That even if something bad happens, there is something good waiting at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, that is the premise of the book.
That's very interesting. I want to ask you that two things. First, the cover looks beautiful. Were you the one who designed it, or who would you like to give credit for that? Because it looks like a book written by a very famous author, actually.
This is I was very proud when I, came up with this cover. Basically, I hired some people to design the cover for me and I was not happy with the result. So I took matters into my own hands and I spent 2 days consecutively working on it. I drew the flowers, I arranged the text, I did it, I did everything, and I'm very proud to say that, yeah, it's my design and it looks good. So,
It indeed does look very beautiful. Um, as you mentioned, that the theme of the story is basically surrounding mental health in some capacity.
yeah,
So you did make it clear that you've been very fortunate, touchwood, to have not gone through those experiences. But
yeah,
did you actually seek out to people who had gone through such experiences to know better as to what goes on in one person's mind? Because obviously, somebody who has not gone through this cannot write about it.
yeah, of course, of course. I used to have a best friend. We are not in contact anymore, unfortunately, because college happened, we grew up and we drifted apart. But I had a friend and she'd been through a lot. And she used to I was honored that she chose me to share her experiences. That she knew that she had a friend in me that I could lend her my shoulder to cry upon. So I this whole book was inspired by her and one of my other friends. So yeah, like I knew what goes on in their mind. I did research. I went on Reddit. I like deep dived into internet and I searched up a lot of things regarding suicide prevention, helplines, and in which countries is it punishable, how people deal with it. I searched a lot and it's been through a lot of stages of editing actually, because when I first started drafting this, it was just it was very superficial actually, because yeah, it was like a fairy tale. Something happens, then someone enters, they fall in love and everything works out. It was like that. But then when I got good feedback, I decided to deep dive into the internet. I decided to read up on it and I improved a lot of stuff. I added a lot of stuff so that it reaches the audience, it reaches, it can connect with them, they get it. Yeah, I don't want it to seem like a fairy tale because it's not. It's it's a dream. It's a beacon of hope for people who are trying to find it. So yeah, it's I've yeah, I can say this with you know assurance that there is no misinformation in the book. I've searched up a lot and I know, not to a lot of extent, but I know to some extent what those people, what goes on in their mind, how they deal with it. So yeah, it was inspired by them.
Was it also somewhere or the other inspired by Fault is in Our Stars? Because when I hear the story, it seems very similar.
Yeah, yeah, no, okay. So I've never actually told this to anyone on a very public platform actually, but originally when I started this book, the ending was not going to be a happy ending. In the end, the girl who was going to commit suicide was going to die. It like yeah, it was going to be a sad ending, and I don't think it was actually inspired by The Fault in Our Stars, but it was somewhat similar. So I was, my initial plan was that I'm going to kill one of the main characters. I'm going to make it a sad ending. But then when I was working on the book, when I was writing chapters, I went back to my original thought that I want this book to be a beacon of hope. I want people to read this and see that, yeah, there are better things in life. So why am I working towards a sad ending? So I changed it and yeah, it's a happy ending. And the main character, the female main character who has a shit mental health, she works through it. She works through it with the male character. And yeah, it's good. It's good. I can say that they get a happy ending.
Wow. Ishika, I also want to know, so when was it that you actually started to write this book in particular, and also when did you actually start writing in general?
I I wrote this book in the beginning of 2020 during my 10th board exams. Bad timing. I should have been studying, but I just wanted an outlet, and this book became that for me. I started writing, I started drafting chapters, I started plotting lines that, this was the main character, this was the main crux of the story. I started planning this during my board exams, 10th standard. But I started writing in general when I was in 7th or 8th because I loved reading. Reading is my thing. I used to read a lot of horror stories in school. Like I used to issue Goosebumps, R.L. Stein's Goosebumps series. I used to issue those books from my school library and I used to read them in 2 or 3 days. So I used to read a lot. So I started writing horror stories, short stories, and I actually made my father read them. And he was like, yeah, you're good. And at that time, I was under the impression that maybe he's biased. So I was not taking that very seriously. But since I am from CBSE board, during the 9th and 10th exams, pre-board exams, we had this question in an English paper, 10 marks question, where they give you a story prompt and you have to frame a story. So during the 9th standard pre-board exams, it was an exam. I wrote a story as an answer. And when the answer sheets were distributed, my teacher made me stand up in the class and she was like, her story was the only one out of every section, out of every child that each one of us English teachers liked. And only she got the highest score. And then she told me that I should start doing this professionally. I should search up online competitions. I should participate more because I have a talent. So I got the push, the creative professional push in 9th standard, and that made me join Wattpad. And I started writing stories on Wattpad, like chapter wise. First, I started with fan fictions, Harry Styles fan fictions, and I got a very good response actually. I wrote a spy story there, and people loved it. Then I diverted from that then I started writing 17 Days and Die online. And initially I got very good response. So yeah, it just kept happening. It was one thing after the another. I did not expect it to get published, to get traditionally published at that, but it happened and it was like, okay, this is happening. I had no time to overthink. I had no time to, actually comprehend what was happening. It just kept happening, like one thing after the other.
That's incredible. Ishika, so that was actually, I'm getting goosebumps from, those times where even we used to be given that opportunity in school to be able to write. And, the teachers appreciating you. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps. Um, I want to ask you, so you wrote 17 Days and Die, but did you actually find a publisher while you were writing the book? Were they helping you in the editing process, or you wrote it, then you approached a publisher? What was that like?
I I wrote it first. I started writing this book in February 2020 and I completed it in January 2021.
Hmm.
So like it took 11 months, 11 almost a year,
Hmm.
and it was always supposed to be just online. I was
Hmm.
not going to publish it. I lost hope. I was like, yeah, I don't think it's going to get published because you know, since it was online, since it was there for anyone to read, a lot of people disliked the story too. Like they left mean comments and it discouraged me to a point where I was like, yeah, this should just be a hobby. So I was not holding out any hope that, I was going to get published. But then in after my birthday in 2021, after September, a friend approached me and she said that she knew someone whose story got published through this publishing house, and she said that I should check it out. So I did, and they helped small authors, get the exposure they wanted. And I approached them, I drafted them my manuscript. I sent them 2 or 3 chapters, and then they reached back to me after a week and they said that they were interested. So I don't know. I was like, okay, they are interested, but they've not confirmed it yet. So I did not tell anyone at home. I did not tell that, yeah, they are actually interested because I was like, जब तक confirm नहीं होएगा, जब तक मुझे confirmation email नहीं आएगा, मैं नहीं करूँगी.
नजर लग
I'm not
जाएगी.
going. Yeah, exactly. नजर लग जाएगी. And why, उनकी hope भी बढ़ानी, and in the end it's going to disappoint them if it doesn't happen. So I did not tell them. And then I sent them my full manuscript via email. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, they reached back and they said that, yeah, they wanted to publish my book. And that I remember when it happened, I was in my parents' room. It was around 9 o'clock at night. And I got the email, and immediately I told my parents, I was like, I think my book is going to get published. And they were so happy. They were so happy for me. And I was like, okay, I think this is happening. This is going to happen.
I can just imagine what that feeling must have been like, Ishika.
Yeah.
You can choose not to reveal the name, but could you explain to me the name of the publishing house? What was the journey like? Did they have
Yeah, yeah.
any? Did they? I mean, I'm sure they did take some, money from you to publish this book. But I've heard from a lot of people that you have different slabs, like एक सिल्वर कुछ तो पैकेज रहता है, गोल्ड पैकेज, ऐसे different types of packages. So वैसे कुछ हुआ आपके साथ?
See, that was the thing that attracted me the most about this publishing house. The publishing house's name is Ukyoto Publishing. It's a Canada-based publishing house. They have different, I think they have an office in India too. So the thing that attracted me the most about this publishing house was that they supported small authors by publishing the book for free. I had reached out to many publishing houses. I knew what, the publishing fees was. It started from 21,000 and different packages went up to till 50,000. And I knew that, but I was not going to spend my parents' money on this much money, especially knowing that there was no guarantee I was going to get readers and anyone was going to buy. So I was not going to invest this much. But then that friend, God bless that friend, when she told me that, yeah, this publishing house, they publish for free, they support small authors. So I reached out, and yeah, like they took no money from me. Only the royalty fees I got, it was 25%. 75% they kept, which I think was fair because I did not, they did not take a penny from me. They've been publishing books. They went with my every whim. I'm very choosy, all right. So when when they confirmed that the book was going to be published, I reached out to them. I was like, I want a cover. I on the cover, I want this, I want that, and they were doing it for free. But I was making demands as if I'm paying them millions. So, after a week or so, I was like, what am I doing? Why I'm being so snobby? So then I calmed down. I reached out to some freelancers. I asked them if they can make me a cover, which I did not like. I'm sorry. But yeah, like they did not take a single penny from me. They did all the hard work. I asked them a lot of questions about the editing process because, till the last second, I was making small changes to the story. uh, I can say this with surety. The story I had in mind in 2020 is not the story I published in 2022. Okay. Around 75% of the story changed because till the last moment, like 2 weeks before it was going to be published, I was making changes. I was like, no, I'm going to deduct this line. I'm going to add this line. I'm going to add this, mini plot, this, then that. I did a lot of things. I made a lot of changes and they went along with it. They were not very, they did not behave like me basically. They were not like, no, we are not going to make this change. We are not going to make that. This is final. They, accepted everything I said, everything I wished, I wanted them to make in the book. I wanted them to add an acknowledgement page. I wanted them to make dedication page, a playlist page. There were a lot of demands basically. And yeah, especially since they did not take a single penny from me and they went along with those demands, it was a big deal for me. And it still is.
I have two questions, quick questions. One, do you have any regrets with the publishing journey? Anything that went into the book that you felt, नहीं यार, अभी भी उतने changes के बाद भी I felt I should have made that one change. And another thing is, do you have the exact number of books you've sold?
Okay. So I think, see, I have imposter syndrome. Okay, I'm never going to be happy with myself. I know that. Every year, this book was published on Valentine's Day, 14th February. I chose that specific date because, it's a romance book. I wanted it to be on Valentine's Day. And every year, it's been 2 years now, 2.5 years, and every year on its birthday, I'm like, it's not good. I don't think the book is that good. But my friends, my family, they remind me that yeah, it's a big deal. I did something that not a lot of people get to do, or not a lot of people have the power to do, the power to achieve. So they keep constantly reminding me that you need to calm down, you need to accept that you accomplished a big thing, and yeah, you need to let this insecurity go. That it's not good, because I constantly think I have regrets. I keep imagining maybe I should not have included that spicy chapter, maybe I should have included more spicy chapters, maybe I should have added this, maybe I should have changed their names. I dabble with a lot of ideas basically. So yeah, I have regrets, but you know my readers keep reminding me that no, it's perfect, so I need not to worry. And as for the number of books sold, I don't have any idea actually, because I stopped checking stats after a point. After a year and a half, I stopped checking it last year, because at some point it also discourages you, and like it's a mixed feeling, because it's not the number of books I've sold, it's not that high. It's not as high as I would have liked, but at the same time, it's better than most. So it's a mixed feeling. So I just stopped checking it, I stopped ignoring it. I was like, जिसने book खरीदनी है खरीदो. I am not going to go down that rabbit hole again, because it gives me a bittersweet feeling, and yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. I mean, Ishika, I don't think you should feel insecure because the book seems perfect. I've read the reviews, even on, I forgot where did I check? On Goodreads, I think. I checked the reviews on
Yeah,
Goodreads. They're beautiful. I'm sure there are a lot of people that you personally know, and they are the ones,
yeah.
who have been writing those reviews, but still, not
Mm.
everyone is biased. Your parents can be, but I can tell for
Yeah.
sure that not everyone is biased. Um, I want to also ask you, so because you mentioned that you get 25% royalties, whenever a book is sold, is that something you would advise to? I mean, of course, you did not pay a single penny, so it makes sense. But for example, you did take the 21,000 package from another publishing house. Is that something you would suggest that, okay, take 25% royalties, kam se kam book release हो रही है? Is that what, because बहुत सारे लोग हैं, they get fooled.
Yeah. I don't think, see, I don't think there's a right answer to this, because if some author wants to just, they just want to get their book published, and they don't really care about the money. They care about, getting it out there, then I think they should go for it. But for someone who wants to do it more professionally, who wants to earn money, I don't think this is the way for that, because they should have more autonomy. They should be getting more royalty based on that. And yeah, if they need to get more royalty, they're going to invest. So they should go looking for packages, different marketing strategies. And it's I think it's different for everyone. And like for me, it was about getting my book out there. I just wanted to get published. I wanted to prove to myself that yeah, I can do this. And my book is worth something. That was it for me. That was my goal. My goal was not earning money, it was just an added incentive. So that was my reasoning. And I think it depends from author to author. If someone is like me and they just want to get published, they just want to get done with it, they just want to enter the industry, they should go with it. As for now, I don't think so.
Okay. What are your future plans, Ishika? Are you planning on writing another book, or are you planning on releasing an anthology, something like that?
I'm planning on writing. I have a lot of ideas. I am actually working on 2 drafts right now. I've been working on them for a year and a half. But the thing is, when I felt this, I don't know if anyone else is going to relate to this, but ever since I got published, my family, a lot of people, they held expectations from me that next time she's going to surpass the goal she just set. She's going to sell more copies. And internally, I've pressurized myself as well. Because, yeah, like the next book I write, I want it to be bigger than 17 Days and Die. And, that pressure, I think, kahin na kahin, it's been holding me back. Because I have the idea, I know what my next book is going to be about. But, you know, can I just pause for 1 second?
So Ishika, we were talking about just there was a bit of a hiccup. That's completely fine. We were talking about your future plans, and you were just mentioning about you feel pressurized right now by your own expectations. Please go forward.
Yeah, I think I'm always going to, writing books is going to be always going to be my thing. I don't know how many years are going to pass when I'm going to publish my next book. Maybe it will be by December, maybe it will be by next December. I don't know that, but I have a few books in my mind. I know I'm going to work on them and I'm working on them. This is, as an Indian, I am very aware that, being an author, as, authorship as a profession, it's not going to get me anywhere far actually, because financially it's not stable. There is no guarantee if my book is going to be a bestseller or not, if I'm going to get any royalty, if I'm going to lose my rights. There is no guarantee whatsoever. So I am not that delusional. I think, my future plans include something where I can write. So I'm, leaning towards journalism, because writing is my thing and I just want to write wherever I go. All right. So I professionally I want to be a journalist. I want to write stories. I want to report on them. And I want to be an investigative reporter. So yeah, but side by side, I also want to keep writing books and let's see how that goes. But right now, I'm in my final year of college and I'm pursuing advanced diploma in journalism. So my next goal is masters in journalism, and let's see, where I do that. Whether it's going to be abroad, whether it's going to be Delhi, Bangalore, it's still undecided. But that's my next plan.
Guys, before you think I'm creepy and I gave her flying kisses, that was only because I too dream on becoming a journalist. And this is the first time I've actually, come across a person who just like me wants to also become a writer. I mean, she's already an author, wants to write more and is inclining towards journalism. So
Yeah.
Ishika is my best friend from today. Okay. I'm I'm a bit
All
biased, but
right.
she's my favorite guest.
I'm happy with that. Yes. Works for me.
Okay. So, Ishika, I was just going to ask you about your educational qualifications and stuff like that. But just because you mentioned, I'll maybe ask you a different question. Do you think it's important to have an English literature degree to be able to write better? Because, obviously your eloquency and vocabulary is better. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I think, you know, maybe because I'm pursuing advanced diploma in journalism, but for my bachelor's, I'm pursuing English honors. And, it's helped me. My vocabulary has grown. I've read classics. I've started reading classics. I did not used to like classics, but I've started reading them. And now I've come across a lot of revolutions from 18th century till the modern literature. And yeah, I've seen developments and kahin na kahin it's helped me. Like I've internalized a lot of things. I've internalized how famous authors, the classical authors, how they used to write and how they come up with plots and everything. So it's helped me. But I don't think it's necessary. English degree is necessary because if someone wants to write, if they have a good plot, vocabulary does not matter. The thing that matters is that their ability to connect with people. So I think anyone can write a good book. Vocabulary is not a big deal. Of course, vocabulary plays a huge role in a book becoming a success, but at the same time, I think if your plot is good, if it's tugging on people's heartstrings, I think you're good to go.
I'm so sorry, I was in mute. Anyways, so I just like to ask you 1 second.